This is the first episode of The Echo. I go with the name Apollo P.
And I'm Katie.
My name is Jeff.
And this is the podcast that we're going to be talking to everything regarding music, culture, and everything in between, all right? So let's start off things. How you guys doing today?
You know, I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm feeling blessed.
Yeah.
Hella tired. It's like, 10 p.m. on a Saturday night?
We've been here since, 6 p.m.?
We've been here for a minute still.
Yeah. So that's some inside information right there. So we've been busting our ass, just getting everything up in order, but I think we finally got it. So how do you guys want to start this thing? Will you guys want to, chop it up, talk some music right now?
Let's talk some music.
All right.
What's poppin'?
Well, definitely got to talk music because Migos released Culture 3, and I am excited to talk about that.
Yes, man. Yes. Well, so to me personally, I think they dropped the music kind of a little too soon beforehand when they started promoting it. Yeah. But when I finally got to listen to it, I'm like, all right, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. I'm liking it. What's your reviews on it though?
You know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. I think it's an early candidate for album of the year. That shit
for real?
is
Really?
fire. Oh my god! Like the singles, first of all, "Straighten" was freaking fire.
Straining.
But I believe I forget the song, but like they released the music for
Is
it.
it Avalanche?
No, Avalanche was the intro song.
Yeah.
It's the one they just released. Fuck. But anyways, it was such an amazing album. The Drake feature was sick. The Pop Smoke feature.
Having Our Way? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so I think that they got out of that Culture 2 sound where it was a lot of auto-tune and all that shit. I thought this album, they went back to their roots. So I thought that they were able to create some really catchy music and really show that they're still influential people in the music industry.
What about you, Kadiatu?
I thought it was good. I listened to it once over. It's the Migos, so I'm not even shook. They came to, they popped out. Their last album wasn't all that.
Exactly.
So this one, they really, really came back with it. I think it has something to do with the breakups and, the little shenanigans that been happening, behind the scenes. But aside from that, the album was popping. Album of the year, though.
I'm just saying because it was like so many bops.
There were a lot of bops.
Yeah, like I'm playing this on aux, blasting it. Quavo. I think Quavo was the best Migo in that album, but everyone did their own thing. Yeah. Offset carried some songs, Takeoff hit on some of the beats.
I think Takeoff had a lot of the third verses on a lot of the songs. Yeah. We kind of really held it down. Yeah. Even Twitter was saying that Takeoff was he's the best Migo. Right
he is
now.
The best Migo.
Takeoff, I think, his solo project was actually fire too.
It was fire.
So it's debatable to say Takeoff is the best Migo. We just been sleeping on it because we were too focused on Quavo and Takeoff. Mm-hmm. But Offset, my fault. Offset.
Yeah, it's Offset. No, but I think what this album showed is that we keep talking about them solo, but them as a trio fits perfectly because they bring different flows to this song and they change it up and it's not boring,
Exactly.
So I thought that I also wanted to give a shout out to that Pop Smoke song again because that was fire. I also read something that apparently Quavo was working on a duo project with Pop Smoke, which is unfortunate. But Quavo and even the Migos on like a trap beat, didn't expect them to sound so good,
Oh yes.
Sorry, not trap beat, drill beat. Drill beat.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even before, just to touch on the thing that you said about Pop Smoke and Quavo, before that, I think Pop Smoke had an interview, with Angie Martinez or something like that. She said him and Quavo, they get along real well, and then Quavo was putting Pop Smoke on to everything. So even during I think Pop Smoke's posthumous, his dead album, the one that came out there. I say that respectfully. Yeah. But we had a lot of Quavo features on that.
Yeah, I was surprised to see a lot of Quavo, but they've worked, Yeah,
and Pop Smoke must have a whole bag of features in because a whole bunch of people.
Anything with Pop Smoke, I'm listening.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so lastly, let's end on this part. So they dropped their Culture 3.
Yeah.
Where do you think Migos are going to go after this? So you think they've fallen off after this? You think they cemented their legacy inside the rap game, or what's going on?
I think they cemented themselves as legends. Okay. I saw an interview he did with Speedy Norman on Complex. He used to work for Complex, but anyways, they did an interview and they think that their legacy is that they're going to be the best rap group of all time.
That's what they are.
In terms of culture, in terms of influence, so they still have that impact. People still listen to Migos. They have. I think Quavo's voice, for example, the reason why I love Quavo so much is his voice is iconic and it just stands out.
You just know, it's Quavo.
It's Quavo,
Quavo.
Yeah, exactly. And like he's obviously the superstar in that group, but also Offset and Takeoff also do their own thing. And they're
to be honest, I used to think Quavo was a superstar, but now as they all developed, I think they're all on equal playing field. After they did the whole solo run, I'm like, yo, I think they're all meant to be together. They can't necessarily survive on their own the way that you would think they would. Because you think Quavo would pop off on his own, but he didn't necessarily do that.
It was trash.
Yeah.
Like, see it like it is.
Hey, man,
it was
that shit was fire. That shit, no,
I
it
love
was not
Quavo,
fire.
but it was trash.
It was not,
they definitely work better together, 100%.
What do you think? What do we think about like Migos moving forward? Legendary?
Honestly,
best rap group ever?
I don't know if they're gonna end up being the best rap group ever, but for now, they're definitely doing their thing. There's definitely room for potential like growth. You know, I think they could do better even, have more bop songs, especially when like the world is closed off now. So when everything opens back up, when everyone's hitting the club or doing XYZ, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, there were a few duds on that album. I'm not gonna lie, no disrespect to him, rest in peace, of course. But the Juice WRLD song was a miss for me. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of him even when he was alive. I'll give a shout out to the Justin Bieber feature. That was unexpected, but really good.
He was good on the rap music though. He's good.
Yeah, I was shook.
Yeah.
Yeah, Davey did thing.
Oh, and also I gotta make reference when we were talking about Culture 3, the line about Sweetie.
I said Sweetie now.
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead. Speak on it.
Something around the
Speak
lines
on it,
of
Jeff.
like taking the car back from Sweetie, and you know that's like everyone's talking about, you know,
having our way.
Yeah.
Bye.
Future nodding in approval, all that, you know, City Boys Summer, all that, you know. And it was also a song called, I think, Working on Myself, where he kind of talks about how like he's now going back to trapping in the bando and all that, you know, like. He felt that like kind of relationship thing was a distraction.
It was.
Kind of,
It made him soft?
Yeah, it did.
It made it, yeah.
You think it made him soft?
Yeah, like, and he wanted to make kind of music back to like his mixtape days, you know. Did it deliver to that level? Debatable, because there was still some of that auto-tune Migos stuff, but yeah.
I mean, their ad-libs are still fire. Like, that's the one thing I love about the Migos. Their ad-libs will always bop. Whether you know the lyrics or not, you'll know the ad-libs.
That's a whole fact.
Okay, but no, speaking of fire tracks, can we talk about Meg The Stallion and how she did not deliver? Sis!
So you know what? It's that shit that she dropped, right?
It was that shit.
But you know what? People talking about how she's like, she always talks about the same shit though.
It wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Like,
Man.
It was a typical, like, you know, yes, I want to be a hoe and this, and that. But sis, you have a man.
Well, check this out. You know what? So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right?
Play devil's advocate.
You know how like regular rappers we talk about, regular rappers talk about, you know, killing, shooting, selling drugs, you know, having a whole bunch of bodies and stuff like that. You could debate and go like, you know what? The regular rappers do the same thing, repeat content. They say the same thing over and over again, but we don't necessarily denounce what they're doing. But when Meg does it, we have an issue with it.
No, okay. My issue is that the first album that she dropped with like the song Realer, that is the Meg The Stallion that I need back. Like that album, front to bottom fire. Like every girl was talking their shit. Like everyone felt like that, you know? But this new Meg The Stallion, I don't know. It's not making me like feel like I'm the stallion, you know what I mean? It's not giving what it was supposed to give.
Yeah. Oh, what is the stallion? Is it like thought vibes, riding the boat vibes?
I needs to go back to driving the boat vibes.
What's her vibes? I want to know her vibes.
I don't know. It's the confidence, like in that. Just her one song, like Realer, like she talked her shit.
Is it because it's not believable no more? Because when rappers talk about killing and shooting people, you think they're actually doing it. You don't think Meg's out here getting backed.
Oh my!
She's not letting random man's back it. Meg's not letting random man's back it.
I would hope not, but I don't know. Maybe,
you don't believe it. That's why.
Maybe I don't know.
She's not here thought and boffing. Yeah. You don't believe it. That's why.
It's the beat. It's the track. It's the lyrics. It's not meshing the way. You know, it should be meshing.
Believable? Do you believe her when she says she's out here like thoughting and bopping and getting massive pay?
To one man.
So it's not believable right now.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Jeff?
Well, you made the point about how like the rappers, we look past it. I think I do have that same approach with Megan. I look past all that shit, the topics, and I listen more to her flow. And when she first came in, the first song I heard of her was with DaBaby.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, damn, she going in. And I listened to her projects, and her first project, it was really good. But it does get a little repetitive. It's the same exact flow. It's kind of like like the way people think of, actually, funny enough, the baby. In that's like
Baby actually switches it up.
really.
Did
The baby
he,
actually
though?
switches it up. Well, you know what? The baby actually switches it up. A lot of these rappers actually switch it up. Megan, I think she came in like hot.
Yes.
But we start to realize that, a lot of us start to realize that she's a subpar rapper, man.
Yeah.
She's not like, she's not great.
Yeah,
Like,
when
she's
people started comparing her to Nicki, I
Yeah,
said,
nah.
She's
y'all gotta cut that shit out.
subpar bars, flow.
Yeah.
Like, she's average at best. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on some Kevin
agree.
Samuel shit.
Okay, no, but big facts. But I love you though. I still love me some Meg The Stallion, but more throwback. You know, I don't really nothing.
So unless she's out here really thotting and bopping, that's when you start believing the music?
No, I don't think that's what it is though. If the track was fire, I'd be blasting the track.
It's not fire?
It's not.
fire?
Unfortunately, it's not something me and my girls would just be bopping with in the car, yelling the lyrics. You know.
Exactly. You know why? Because she needs to start making some music for you and your man to listen
Oh.
to. Exactly.
Oh,
Speak on the life that you live. Not the life that you used to live.
you heard it here, folks. Speak on the life you should live.
Exactly. You live that. Yeah, that's what. That's
a good point.
authenticity. Yeah. That's
Talk
what the
your shit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
She loves her man.
I mean, she said that's mine in the
Yeah.
video, so I'm guessing.
Would you listen to Beyonce if she was talking about here thotting and bopping, knowing that she got a billionaire boyfriend? Or husband?
I mean, if the track bad.
No, stop it.
Guys, if the track bop.
Could you imagine her, like Megan, like actually making like relationship songs after, like because of this
I
situation?
want her to.
What she about to say? I love my man.
She gotta give us some hard shit, like yo, I'm in love
Right.
type shit. All right, so what other stuff dropped in music today? Like this.
Well,
past
we
week?
gotta talk about Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Voice of the Streets.
Yeah.
The voice and the hero. Why they call Little Baby the hero? I've been trying to figure that out. Why do you call him that? Why you nickname him the hero?
I'm not familiar with his story. He obviously came out of Atlanta,
Yeah.
whatnot. But in terms of the project, a lot of people were saying Lil Baby carried. I thought Lil Durk did his thing.
I think no, Little Dirk went 30 for 30 on there.
Yeah.
Well, Dirk always does his thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Lil Baby, like with the conversations we around his name, him being like the face of hip hop, people think the same. Starting to see that with Lil Durk too, and this was a great chance for both of them,
To
which
hop on?
in a collab album, which I think
Yeah.
needs to happen more. Honestly,
I think it's one of the best, better collab albums I've seen in the past like decade.
decade.
I'm
Wow.
capping in the last 5 years.
Confidence.
In the past 5 years.
Because I was gonna say 21 Savage and Offset can match that.
Without Warning,
Yeah, that was
It was
really
good one too,
it was
but
good. It was
I
good.
don't think it was
Without Warning was
better.
good.
Well, yeah, I would say though, like, because Lil Baby and Lil Durk, they both came in with energy in a lot of these songs. My personal favorite though is the one with Meek Mill, but that's because I'm a Meek fan too.
Meek does bop.
Yeah, he be
Richard Millie on my wrist.
Yeah,
Nah, he talks his shit.
Yeah. I like Meek.
Confidently.
I used to like Meek.
What happened now?
He's not it for me,
Nah,
man.
he's not giving what he was supposed to give.
Yeah, he's not giving what he's supposed to give.
Like Meg The Stallion. I
Exactly.
see, I understand
man.
now.
Meek is for the trenches, but like there's better rappers for the trenches now.
Like who?
Dirk.
This is correct.
Dirk's for the trenches. Well, we got Little Baby for the trenches.
Yeah.
Who else? We got Favi. Favi's for the trenches as well.
Favi?
You know, that drill shit be bumping.
Yeah. Can't sit still when he's on.
what you guys think of the album?
Which one? The Lil
Voices,
Durk?
yeah.
I liked it. I love Lil Durk. I love his flow, love his tracks. I love his storytelling. And he can make like songs from rap to talking about like gangster rap. He can talk about like love stories. So he has that different type of flow with him. I'm a Lil Durk fan, so.
I like it. I think that this was a great job for Dirk to kind of steal the light from Little Baby. He outperformed him on the album through and through. Okay. So usually because Baby has been doing his thing, since the past last year since he dropped the Bigger Picture.
That
Yeah.
was a big
Big
moment
Turn,
for
like
him.
around that time.
That was a big moment for him.
He had like his run, and every feature that he did, it was boom, 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 boom. And so you would think that Baby will show up every single track, but Little Dirk, the voice, showed up. I think, and Dirk's been showing up for the past like over a year and a half now.
Yes, that's correct.
Exactly.
Despite the losses that he's,
You take L's, but like.
But what do you think about the mentality with these collab albums? Do we talk about like who outperformed better, or should we talk more about how they complement each other well?
Nah, man, rap is a gladiator sport. You talk about who did better. Like even on a feature, like you want to see you want to see Jay and Drake on a track, but obviously you're gonna compare them. Go like, yeah, I think Jay, killed Drake on his track, or vice versa. So that's what comes to everything.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I feel like we can talk about more about how they uplift each other too, because it can be a little bit, disheartening, or people get a little bit jealous, and then that's when beef starts for no reason.
Yeah.
So I think talking about how they complement each other is very important, because that's how collabs continue, and friendships grow and all that, jazz. But no, for sure.
Yeah, and I really grown to respect Lil Baby over the past year. I think, for example, you mentioned the bigger picture. That when that song came out, people were shocked that he was the guy out of like a bunch of other artists. There's social conscious rappers. He was the one to create the song to speak on the current issues, and killed it. And from that point on, I felt like he's just been catching W's from that point on.
That's a whole fact.
No, for sure.
So, and especially the way he carries himself as an artist. I've seen some interviews about how, he's really motivated about building self-growth and being a good role model. Like, he's just got everything. He's got a right head,
Exactly.
Good for him. It's not every day trapping in the bando,
Yeah.
No, it's everyday trapping in the bando.
Sometimes you gotta represent.
It's everyday trapping in the bando. Stop it.
See your life,
Stop it. Yeah, that's what we call it's called. What's it called? Bang 'em up. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, die slow. That's the type of music I like.
Disregard.
That's the type of music we all like. Stop it.
I mean,
bang, bang, shoot 'em up, die slow.
Heesh.
That's the type of music that we all like.
Nah, sometimes we like a little,
No, we
Black
don't.
Lives Matter, police, we like a
no, we
little.
don't.
Oh, no, we
We
don't.
We don't.
Okay, we are not the same.
You
clearly.
like when Lil Durk talks about he's about to run down on his ops, spin a
No,
Benz.
but I also like him talking about, how next
Exactly.
time.
You don't even know how to put things to words, man.
But moving away from music, let's talk about what's happening in the world right now. Like, are you guys familiar with the terrorist attack that happened in London with that, white Caucasian terrorist who literally took a car, ran down the family, and killed basically the entire family, leaving the little boy without a family?
Exactly.
How does that make you guys feel?
It was at first when I saw or when I heard about it, I looked at it and I was like, shit, crazy. And I kind of like, you kind of desensitized to a lot of the crazy things that are going on in the world. So you just read the headline, you kind of just lift your phone, go like, read the headline, go like, oh shit, that shit crazy, and then you go about your day. But when I started to see it build up amongst my peers and everything on social media, I'm like, whoa, there's more to the story. Dude that had a motive behind it. I thought it was just more so of like, maybe just a stupid kid doing some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But he had a motive behind it, and come to find out, like, it was race motivated or religious motivated. And a lot of the media were putting out that picture of him on the track, and everyone was upset. It was like, why are you trying to put that good picture of him out there? But like, yeah, that was, you get desensitized to a lot of shit. So I just saw she was crazy, and then it's unfortunate. I even saw like a little bit of the broadcasting of the funeral early on today.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate though.
It's wild, for sure. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, the word desensitized. It's only because it's happened so often, and Islamophobia has been going on for a long, long time, and this is just another example, unfortunately. And especially with the media portrayal, that's another thing to highlight, because again, they just sympathize with these white terrorists and let them get away with all this type of stuff. No accountability. They're not even going to. And then when they shift the conversation to, is it mental health rather than racial motivated?
Maybe we started.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, with this, the mindset is kind of like, what do we do from here? But it's been, because it's been happening so long, like it still hasn't been resolved,
For sure. I mean, I think one thing is it's the fact that it's actually being broadcast now. Like before, it's all hush hush, but now people can actually see and witness these things and learn about it. Because like you said, Islamophobia has been happening for so long, but other people are just finding out about it right now. I mean, what pisses me off about the whole media portrayal is the showing of like the Terry Fox, like acting like this man is holier than art thou, whatever. And also showing a picture of him, I think it was him fishing or just being like a good civilian, you know what I mean? Acting like, mental health. There was a whole CTV article that a lot of people pressured them to actually take it down because it was referring to how like he was a good kid talking to his like coworkers and saying, oh, he's not like this and that and the third. But it's like we all know like the backstory. And the worst part is there's like it wasn't just that one boy. Like so many other people are thinking like this. I don't know if you guys saw that video of this man taking a video outside of his home, and it showed 2 women walking with hijabs, and like
I saw that.
Car was driving, and he's like, "Oh, where's?" I'm not even gonna mention that white guy's name, but where is he when you need him?
Yep.
Car was driving by, and he's like, "No, you missed. Go back." And this is just him taking a video. Like, I don't even have the words. Like, and I agree. Like, I'm even immune to this pain because it's like shit happens every day. Unfortunately, like I feel like every day it's a sad story after another. But I agree. Where do we go from here? What do we do?
That's a good question.
What can we do?
So the only answer I could really say is, hey, continue to live your life, not trying to project hate. You know, that's the best thing I can
that's
say.
hard for a lot of people, unfortunately.
You know, I mean, technically, well, right now, a family's just missing a whole bunch of their family members.
Yeah.
You know, there's people left without answers. Looking for justice towards, you know, the maximum, you know, the book be thrown at that little boy.
Not even throwing dashed, bro.
Yeah, dash at that boy. A lot of people hate that boy right there, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to see that boy under the jail.
Well, I wanted to make reference back to desensitized. And one of the things for that is because there's so much things going on within different communities, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And that sometimes there's even battles, unfortunately, within the marginalized communities because they're like, our issues aren't paid attention to as much. You know, obviously what's going on in the world right now, there's still like the Palestinian-Israel situation. There's still Stop Asian Hate. Of course, there's the ongoing discrimination against Black people as well. So there's just so many different issues, right? And it's kind of like balancing. And because it's so overwhelming, one issue doesn't get addressed as much. And Islamophobia, like, has been going on even going back to 9/11.
Yeah.
Right. And
this is true.
It's just the portrayal of like people. I've seen films and articles about how like white people are afraid to go on planes. Just seeing
a brown person.
Yeah, just seeing a brown person, right? Not all brown people are Muslims either.
Yeah,
too.
This is true.
So one thing I realized about Islamophobia, I don't know if I say it right.
Islamophobia,
Islamophobia.
Yeah. You gonna correct it for me? I realized that it is also it's religious based.
Yep.
That's where it comes from, but it also has an identifier. So like you're a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't look at her and go like, all right, you're gonna be projected to like this type of hate because you look black, right? But the minute you look like Arabian or Middle Eastern or somewhat
or
like
even
South
like have a
Asian.
hijab on.
Exactly. Then that's when you get subjected to all of that. That's what I realized. Like say if Jeff was like brown or something like that, right? Or like he looked like like Ahmed, respectfully.
Yeah.
Ahmed, yeah.
He looked like Ahmed, respectfully. Then you would see like a whole bunch of like disrespect. You'd be slighted just because the way you look, and you automatically assume that you are a part of that particular religion and follow those type of practices. But like but you look at her like you get black hit.
Yeah.
But like you're also Muslim,
yeah.
And then you see stuff like this, so it's like a double whammy.
It is a double whammy.
Hate? Is that right?
Intersectionality.
Intersectionality, right there.
Yeah, no, it sucks because it really could have been anyone though, because that family was minding their own business. You know, it's COVID time. There's really nothing to do, so they're just going on a walk, and then boom, that happens. And it sucks because now I'm seeing like on social media, or even I have friends telling me like now they don't want to go take walks because they're afraid, or even like little girls growing up and wanting to wear the hijab, like something like that. It sucks, but I don't even know. All we can really do is just promote love, like you said, like not really promoting hate, and just continue guiding, being there for each other as well. Because the worst thing that we can do right now is just distance ourselves from one another. Exactly. Like promoting the information, letting people know what needs to be done, helping each other in any way we can. And also pressuring the news, media, like public speakers, politicians.
Them crooks, them liars.
Talking about, this is a crime, Then we're putting up policies that like are Islamophobia, like you know what I mean? Like it's just
there was a lot of criticism because I believe both Justin Trudeau and Doug Ford attended the funeral or whatnot.
Yeah, they said they had words to say.
Yeah, they had words to say. First of all, Doug Ford, he was screamed at by the audience to finally acknowledge it was a terrorist attack. That was one thing. But two, just having both of those politicians, a lot of people question their motives because maybe it's for PR or whatnot.
Everything's for PR.
Yeah.
Everything's for PR. Gotta look good in front of the camera, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But the thing is, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
That's the truth.
Yeah. If they didn't show up, then it's like,
They
oh,
would've
you're not
got
gonna acknowledge
paged.
it. You pull up, you're gonna get paged. You do what you gotta do, man.
I mean, I think it's a stepping stone. Like, I feel like, yes, talking about it is cool and all, but now that we have acknowledged the issue, what are we gonna do from there? Like, what policies or what are some of the things we're gonna put in place to help? I don't know, stop these people. But the thing is, it's like we can only help people so much. Haters are gonna hate.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like,
Damn.
I gotta give a shout out to Jagmeet Singh because this man, he is applying so much. He's calling out Justin because
No filter.
like, because Justin keeps saying all the right stuff, right? Whether it was taking a knee for Black Lives Matter or whatnot, all that type of stuff, or speaking about the indigenous people.
Yeah.
But like, when it came to actual like
Action?
legislation, he's done nothing. And he's voted against it at times. And Jagmeet's like, yo, what is this? Like, you know?
I don't know.
Well, my little that I know about the Canadian government, I think that it has to go through like three. You have to go through three different levels of government.
Yeah, but
so he's not like he has the power over the. Like,
but he has a vote, and people can see who puts out the vote. And if the leader is saying no, that's very clear where he stands on the issue.
But the House has more. If the House has more majority, then it could always get contested, right?
Well, either way, he is a representative of a government that probably speaks to his rhetoric or his views, you know? So he's obviously going to be the focal point, and that's why we have to apply pressures to people like him, you know?
Yeah. It also kind of sets like a precedent for like the people, like when they start voting or like trying to get them to like sway a certain way or regardless of the fact. But yeah, for sure.
So shouldn't we kind of police ourselves a little bit? In terms of like what we want to see out in the world, we want to focus on the local level first, and then that obviously is going to influence the higher ups. No, does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Well, I think infiltrating the systems from the ground up is kind of what we can do right now, because that's all we can do. You know, we don't have much power, unfortunately. Even though they say that, you know, we live in a democratic society, we really don't have the power. So what we can do is start from the ground up and hopefully implement systems that can be pushed up to the ground top one day. You know?
Like you'll catch John Tory before you catch JT. Am I right? I'll catch I live in Ramsey, so I'll catch like, I think his name is Peter Brown, but I'll catch him slipping before I catch like JT or Doug Ford. So if we start at our own municipal level, right, and apply pressure to the municipal level,
Then
in
they
terms
could,
of
you're
like,
saying.
Obviously the pressure starts to build, right? Because you see John Tory at like Trinity Bellwood Park or whatever. What I say it right?
Yeah.
Trinity.
Oh God.
He was you'll catch John Tory at your local patio, man.
Yeah.
You know, just catch him slipping. Go like, hey, bro, let's go. I need my 5 minutes. Conversation.
Yeah.
No, I agree though. Like I'm in regards to like applying pressure to our own politicians, especially within our communities and stuff like that. But it goes back to the representation matters. Like people in our community should also want to like run for these type of seats. I'm not saying all y'all have to do it because you're not seeing me do all of that. It's not for everybody. Yeah. But I feel like if we see ourselves being represented within like the circle, then different decisions will be made. 100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that starts giving them more opportunities to be able to go that path, you know?
Snap. This is correct.
Exactly. All right. So in terms of like Islamophobia.
Phobia.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Okay, let's say Islam. Phobia.
Islamophobia. There you go. I got my mouth right. Pause.
Oh, God.
So since we're already talking about like marginalized, communities and things like that,
right?
We're gonna bring this. I think this topic is never gonna die.
Never.
Until I don't know. I don't think it's never gonna die. But the N-word. Every year we're gonna have to talk about the N-word for some reason.
Every year,
because there's always someone new that's flinging off the N-word crazy, and then there's always a bunch of people going like, "Yo, bro, I don't see color. They can say the N-word because that's my brother or sister." So, what's your thoughts on the N-word? Let's start with you.
If you're not black, don't say the N-word. It's really that simple. Yeah. It's not hard.
It's hard, actually.
It's not hard. Y'all cheesing me. It's not hard. If you're not black, not black, we can say the N-word. Can't say the N-word.
I think it's hard. I think
it's hard.
Yeah, I think it's hard.
Damn.
You were saying that simple concept of you can't be black, you can't say the N-word. Nah, it's difficult for people. The excuses that a lot of people that are outside, hey, you see it in the music. I listen to music all the time.
Yeah, this is true.
Your friend says to me all the time, I'm his N-word. And it's like around them, I'm cool around saying it. And then we have people that grew up in the hood, where they're all raised around majority of black people, say it all the time. That's part of who I am. How you gonna tell me not to say that? That's part of who I am.
But it's not. This is what they have to learn. It's not part of who you are.
Granted, it's not. So Jeff, what are your thoughts? What's your stance on the N-word? I want you to say it's okay to use it.
Speak wisely.
I want you to say it's okay to use it. So,
but I'm not even just saying this because I'm in front of the cameras. It's just to say, and try to save face. It's true. There's no reason for me to say the N-word, and I don't know why it's so hard. Again, you mentioned the comment about how like some people justify because they hear the music. Yeah. But it's so easy to just like not say it. Like,
have you ever slipped up and like said it?
No.
Not even in your head.
Nah. It's not. It's very simple.
That's different.
No, it's simple because there's a word.
Jeff's a different breed. Huh?
Yo, I know people be saying it in their head.
If I was white, I'd say that all the time in my head. Not all the time. Not all the time. If I was white, I would say it. I would let the N-word off fly a little bit, but I wouldn't be no hater or racist. Hopefully.
Yee.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think people say it behind my back.
100%.
Of course, yeah.
100%. I mean, we're all, but most people are guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of like saying it around people, especially like in high school, with like my close circle of friends, like people who weren't black were saying it all willy nilly.
Exactly.
And it wasn't
She's part of the problem.
100%.
You made them comfortable to it.
But as I, grow and got older and wiser, I started checking them. Those same friends. I said, listen, this is what it is. Yeah. You can't say that word, especially around me. You can't say it around me no more. So I don't know. It's hard though, and I understand, especially when we continue to say it and we're saying it as like a good way, like, oh my nigga, this is a good word. It's not necessarily a hate.
She let the N-word fly right there on camera.
Bro, I be letting it fly left, right, and center. But
actually, I wanted to bring up a point, and actually, you're from Brampton, right?
I am from Brampton.
Okay.
B-town.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not the biggest generalizing guy, but my views and a lot of people's views apparently is a lot of brown people in this area saying the N-word. Is that something you've noticed?
Yeah, no, it's not even just brown people. It's like everybody that's not black.
I get it, but
yes.
Because especially like for example, Nav got in trouble. There was a
he's from Rexdale. He's from the hood, the black hood.
But
they allowed that shit. You gotta check them guys over there in Rexdale.
But the thing was, like, when he got mainstream, I believe it was Biebs in the Trap, and he had the N-word, and American black community was on him.
Yeah,
like,
Americans don't play that.
Well, of course, there's even deeper history there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I noticed a bit of a trend there, and a lot of my friends were saying that too. And I guess I wonder why they feel the need, especially to.
So we could go. I don't know how deep we could get into it, but like I even there's this guy named Charleston White. He was like getting at the Asian community and the Hispanic community because they love to say the N-word. They love to say it. N-word every single time. And then some of the Asian boys from like Long Beach, California, they had responded back to him. And it was like, yo, this is who we are. We grew up like this. This is all we know. So you to tell us that we can't say the N-word, who are you to tell us? And granted, they're gangsters, right? You pull up to them and go like, hey, bro, you're going to have to check that. You check who? And then, pistols fighting.
Right.
But nonetheless, the psychology to think that you look in the mirror and you see yourself as someone other than black, but like at the same time, you are personally and sociologically like physical. What's that word I'm trying to look for?
What word are you trying to look for? Psychologically?
Psychologically, you endorse the word and you believe the word that to be yours and to kind of spew it out the way that you please. That is some mental illness, boy.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like that's some mental illness. And at the same time, like those guys they're Asians. Like I'm talking about the Asian boy Crips out in Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
They're Asian. Like even in their title, they're Asian boy Crips. You know what I mean? Like Asian boys. That's the gang. Cheesed. Think about it. They're identified as a race, and then they're saying the N-word, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like how you're Asian. Clearly you're Asian. All your gang is like I'm seeing your gang. I'm seeing you clipped up with like Cambodians, Taiwanese, Chinese, Japanese, all up inside your gang, and you're out here telling me that we saying N-word because we grew up with like mad black people. But granted, I don't see no black people in your gang. What's going on? You know what I mean?
It's complicated because like there's so many people. I know it's the way that you're looking at me. You're like Jeff,
I'm one of those.
If you ever say this word, I'm coming after you. That's what I sense from that conversation. But no,
it's not hate. It's not personal hate, man.
We do not endorse any hatred here on this show.
But like, what's your all right? So my stance on the N-word is that I don't say it in front of company. Like if you know me, I let that N-word fly. That's me.
Yeah.
I let that N-word fly.
Same. I'm not gonna lie. I use it.
Yeah, you use it.
You heard me use it.
Exactly.
I do try to refrain from using it, like, you know, around people who are not Black. Obviously, I slip up sometimes. But shut up. But no, for real, I don't know. I use the word. It is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there are many Black people who think that we should not use the word period because of the history and all that stuff. So what are your stances on that?
I mean, all right, so if you get caught, all right, it's like breaking the law. If you get caught, then you broke the law. But if you don't get caught, you never broke the law at all.
As a Black person, you're saying? If I get caught by another Black person saying it?
No, I'm just saying if you got caught by
Oh,
someone
in
else.
general? Okay.
So if I say the N-word in secrecy amongst my Black friends, right? Then you'll never know if I say it or not.
That's true, but it also goes for the fact of other non-Black people if they say it in front of their friends.
Well, I don't. To be honest, I think the best way to like remember how we're saying to ourselves, like police ourselves. Like if you want to diminish the word,
True.
you try not to use it as publicly as before, right? Granted, you can't stop music because musicians that's a artistic expression.
Yeah.
But in terms of how you want to live your life day to day, then you
true.
might just want to peel back the layers of just using that word so all
Kind
the
of
time.
refrain from it?
Exactly. And you just use it in your own personal time. The same way, like, people like to pick their nose at home instead of in the public.
Stop picking your nose, Jeff.
And you want to just do that like that. Like, you just treat it like that. Just, all right, it's a sacred word. You want to use it within inside the confines of your phone.
Just do it on your dolos.
Exactly.
Right, no, for sure. I mean, okay, so I guess what we learned from this conversation is don't say the N-word if you're not Black.
Yeah. So how do you feel about other people saying that word? Like, well, we kind of touched it, but like in terms of every year,
Yeah.
the reason why the conversation always brought up,
Bro.
is because someone famous, popular on social media,
Yep.
had said the N-word 5, 6, 10 years ago, and it gets drawn up, and some
Yeah.
people always have some type of hullabaloo. Do you think people? First off, do you think we should be even discussing it if they have changed their way from 10 years ago? Because I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. And to bring up someone's past like that and then to subject them to like today's standards to what they did in the past, kind of unfair.
I agree.
But that's one. And then two, like, that happens so many times. Do you even get offense to it?
I just get annoyed because people are just doing it for clout at this point. Like, we've gotten to a point where people know they shouldn't be saying the word because they're not Black. It's more so like saying, "Oh, I want to say it because I can say it." Like more, I'm with the
Rebellious.
in crowd. Yeah, being rebellious, or I'm that ish.
Yeah. What
Like,
about
you know what I
Jeff?
mean? People are just doing it for clout now. Like they think it's cute. They think they're hard. Like, you're not hard bodies. Just stop.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
And also on the note, like kind of like when white, have you seen, I saw a clip of like, this white person was brought up on stage. I think it was a Kendrick Lamar concert. And he said the N-word and
Wasn't it YG? Was it Kendrick or YG?
It's happened several times in
Oh,
several
okay, yeah,
concerts.
probably.
All the time.
Yeah, it does happen all the time.
All the time.
And for all the people,
And he
on the
said-
note that you were saying, I think if they are a quote unquote changed man, they would embrace that. I guess they said that, and that they would apologize and they would show that they've changed. That's what should happen. I think like when you kind of hold it accountable, you tell people that's not right to say it.
For sure. I mean, with the whole bringing up people's back stories and all this stuff, it's like you look at why is this coming out now? Is it because the person is in the moonlight? Are they shining? Are they like doing the damn thing? Someone's trying to tear them down. More times, that's when like your back kind of comes to haunt you. Like Kevin Hart, for example, like his whole thing. So people need to stop that, like trying to dig up the past when it's deemed necessary or trying to make the person fall, because people do change. I'm not the person that I was yesterday. Just saying, I grew.
Exactly. See? That's how I look at it, man.
For sure. No, okay, but since we're on the topic of Black people,
Okay.
I got a question.
What's up? Speak on it, man. Speak on it.
I'm kind of scared.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Okay, so are Black people the root of their own destruction?
No.
That's crazy. I can't believe I just said that on camera.
They might be, yes. Yeah. I would say, yeah.
You sure that's the answer you're going with?
Oh, okay.
I'm going with
Remember, we're talking to bare people, eh?
Hey, man.
It's not just us.
I'm gonna have to take that hill, bro.
Okay, but why?
So there's a lot of things that can contribute to Black people being the root of their own destruction. First we could talk back all the way back to where we were back on the motherland, right?
Okay.
In terms of us selling our own people, Granted, we weren't selling our own people, but we were selling people that look like us from different tribes to the white man. All right? And then now, with that being said, with the transatlantic slave trade and the Black Americans, harvesting and starting up land over there, there's a lot more segment. There's segments. There's separations of us. There's
segregation. Is that the way you're taking?
Nah, not segregation. There's segregations. Now we got the blacks versus the Americans.
Yeah.
We got the Caribbeans who are versus both the Africans and the African Americans.
Africans and the African people from the African diaspora.
Exactly. And then it's like on top of that, then we have other topics that people love to touch on, like black on black crime. And then we also have like the N-word, how we can't get on code.
We can't get on code.
We can't get on code. We can't get on code with anything. It's like, all right, once we do one thing, then, there's one of us that has to, infiltrate it and fuck it up. Yep. Market Garvey, to be example, he was trying to do something, but there was a black person that infiltrated, fucked it up.
Mr. Garvey.
Malcolm X tried to do something. And the whole NOI, that shit was corrupt from the inside because, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who's out here, doing a whole bunch of shit.
You know your history.
Yeah, man, come on, man. And Malcolm couldn't get down with that. And so what happened was, they got to get rid of Malcolm. You watch it. There's a next to the documentary. They did it.
It's pretty good.
They did it. Okay. They did it. They killed him. And then we had who else we had? Who else? We had the Black Panther movement.
Yeah, we did.
That got infiltrated by COINTELPRO, but also another black man fucked that shit up too. I believe. Yeah, there. Brockhampton, not Brockhampton.
Are you sure?
Yeah. There's someone in there. There's someone in there. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of things that we try to do amongst ourselves to uplift ourselves. We implode. I mean, what black movement have we done proficiently?
Okay, but whose fault is that?
Yes.
Who has the real power? Who are the people who are literally? Do we though? I know. Honestly, I can see what you're saying, but I feel like it sucks to say, but we've been brainwashed into believing that we're less than or not as strong, because realistically, if we did all come together, 100%, we could take white people off.
Are we brainwashed to think that we're less than? Because every time I go, it's like, black people are incredible. Black people can do this. Black people are untouchable.
Yes.
Black people are amazing. We're brilliant. I don't know. So I don't know what type of information you're getting.
But at the same time, we're not being given the same platforms or money, because money makes the world go round. Look at people living in lower income communities, the way even communities are divided itself. Who are the people who have the power? How did the Atlantic slave trade begin in regards to, yes, black people were involved with doing, some schmishy stuff, but who started it? Who were the people at the desk slicing and dicing Africa up like this?
Hey.
Slicing and dicing like it's pie.
Africans, they've been doing slavery. You never heard of the richest man of the world, Mansa Musa?
Yeah.
How do you get rich?
Okay.
Slavery. And how do you get rich? Slavery.
Are you sure?
Slavery.
Are you sure? Okay, but where'd you get this history from? How do you know what you know?
What do you mean, how do I know?
How do you know what you know? With what research?
The internet.
You're going to trust the internet?
You're going to turn around and then tell me some facts from the internet too, right? You're going to turn around and tell me facts from the internet too.
I just feel like it's a very complicated situation, because it goes back to how do we really know what we know? We don't know these things. Now I'm just going to mess with your mind.
No. I'm standing on what I said, man. What's happening in the world started in Africa. Slavery, that's always been a thing. I think the white man did slavery and they did it barbaric.
Yeah.
They did that shit barbaric. But slavery and all that shit, that all started in Africa. And it just, manifested its way over here. And then to be honest, I think black people have this misconception, black people in the West have this misconception that back in the day, black people were all kings and queens and we all meshed and mingled
it was all
together.
Perfect.
Yeah. But no, you got to think about it like this, right? Africa is filled with thousands of different languages and dialects and different tribes. You think that everyone clicks? Hell fucking no. You think?
I mean, different power dynamics for sure.
What?
Am I wrong?
Nah, there's warring tribes.
Yeah, no, there's a lot.
There's people from Nigeria. People don't even with the Hausa people, and there be Igbo and type of shit.
But I mean, it also got more complicated with the whole slicing and dicing of the continent. People were the way it was kind of segregated and
It wasn't meant for people were mixed in when they weren't supposed to be mixed together. I wanted to make the point about the idea of Black consciousness because that is really
Jeff. No. I'm here. I'm happy you up, Jeff. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, Jeff.
No, Black consciousness is the mentality to really believe in the Black community and the Black people and that they're great. And the reason why it's so important to this day is when you're talking about, for example, the infiltrates who kind of ruin these Black movements, it's because it's the Black people who suck up to the white man, to the white community. And this is prevalent on the world stage because when you think about the countries in Africa, the reasons why those African countries can't seemingly grow is because the governments are corrupted by these leaders who suck up to the white organizations, whether it's the United Nations or whatnot. So in order for, on the topic of the Black community and whether they can uplift themselves and reach their full potential, it's about creating a Black consciousness and really believing that we do not need the white man or these white systems.
We do not need the white man or these white systems.
And then you turn around and say that. And then you turn around and go say that. We need the white people.
No, we definitely do need to work together 100%. We do need each other 100%.
Wait, see, this is why I can't get on code. Do we need the white man or not?
I think we should. I think we all need each other in regards to just creating like a stable, like happy environment 100%. But it sucks because we're never all gonna see eye to eye, whether that's Black people committing certain crimes or sucking up to white people or white people, doing.
I don't think I think that if there was no white people at all, 80% of the crimes in the world would be gone. Well, maybe not.
You stand on that. Stand on that's a hot take. Stand on that. That's a hot
what
take.
makes you say that?
Stand on that, man. Stand on that.
Well, everything when it comes to the configuration of the modern world we see today is because of that. And these institutions, which are owned by these white leaders, they purposely made it so people cannot achieve their full potential. They continue this exploitation. So that's why.
Talk your shit, Jeff. Talk your shit.
That's why it seems as though that it's like no one they're the perpetrators of all these historic crimes.
It's like they're puppeteers and we're the puppets. Yeah. They're just pulling our strings, placing us in different environments, and then throwing in the guns. Let's not forget the guns and the drugs, and then being confused as to why these crimes are happening.
But hold on, let's keep it on. What's that thing called? The EQ. All right, economic and social stuff.
Oh, okay,
I forget what the word when you put it together.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about, though.
Dude, you're cracking me up
on the
today.
Economic and social level. Like, obviously, poverty makes more crime happen.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what?
This is true.
They call it. Why did they call it low-income neighborhoods? And these low-income neighborhoods have a
high crime
rate. It's because
people need money.
People need money.
Yeah.
But the key to, I think I've always emphasized this in a lot of these problems that go on in the world. The biggest solution in my eyes is the emphasis on education, because the education.
But what type of education?
Proper education, obviously not the education that the white institutions of power are pushing in on everyone.
No, I have to ask, because education is important.
No, of course.
You know what we're being taught.
Rod Wave has a line. I think it says like, dropped out of school because no $9 is going to help me what I was facing.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't. He said he dropped out of school because he's like, the education he was going to get that at. After that, it's not going to help him face what he's facing. So like. Is education really all that great for us?
I think the education in being able to learn about how they carry themselves in the world and get out of the situations they're in, and rather that than have a mentality where they feel like they're stuck in the situation and to have this endless cycle of this poverty lifestyle, which is unfortunate. I think the emphasis on education to learn about the world and kind of what they can do to get out of that situation is how the best solution we have right now, you know?
I think education is important, but also questioning what we learn is also very important, because like at the end of the day, it goes back to like, how do the teachers know what they know? You know what I mean? So really grasping that information and then questioning it, whether it's your teachers, whether it's material they think that is, I don't know, like history or whatever. And in regards to even like just going to school in general, that's how you meet people. Like, you know what I mean? Just like socialization.
Being with people of different
networking
races.
is the key to success. I don't care what anyone says. It's not even a school, you know, it's networking. Who do you know? Who do they know? And who can they connect you with?
And when I said education, it can be outside those schools, obviously, because like I said, there's some things being educated can question. You question the education system. You
Agreed.
know? If you weren't educated, you would just follow through with what the schools are. You know, there are places in the world where
Hold on, whoa.
Being educated, you question the institution.
Hold on. So where do we get this education from? Is it not from the institution first?
Not necessarily. Well,
yes, we learn from the
education comes from everything. When you think about it, like the media we consume in terms of movies or just like
pop culture,
or just reading things, you know. And because, for example, like there are places in the world, the school books that they're teaching, their textbooks are completely made up history. Like I know. For example,
is this facts though?
No, it's true.
I know
it's true. No, I know this for true because
how do you know that?
No, because in Japan. Oh, that's true. Like we can play that game.
Are you going?
Did the white man tell you that?
Is this conspiracy?
No, I was talking more about like, for example, I was watching
Alex Jones type shit. Jeff's on the Alex Jones type shit.
No, like, for example, North Korea, for example, their books that they're showing to the kids, they're brainwashed them.
But here's a caveat. North Korea is a communist country, man. It's a dictatorship.
No, the point is, like, education.
You're getting him cheesed.
It's a dictatorship. Give me a world. Give me a country that operates on capitalism and democracy that is doing what North Korea is doing.
Well, that's the thing. That's why we question it, because we don't know, right? Like, even you're talking about name a country that's democratic that's still doing something similar to that. But when that goes to the point that you guys were making in terms of like we don't know, how do we know? But that's good. That gets good.
Canada did the same thing with us with the whole indigenous. We did not know
information. They didn't provide us with false information.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're true. You're true.
That's true.
Actually, yes, they did. They told us Columbus was the first. Was it? I read somewhere where he actually wasn't.
Technically,
he didn't find no land.
When a map
he thought it was India and it was not India.
Yeah, he was trying to find India.
Granted.
And there were people on the land. You can't tell me he found new land when there were man's on the land.
Granted, Christopher Columbus is a terrible navigationer. He went west when he should have went east.
What an idiot.
And he went to a land that was already inhabited by people. But like when the white man puts his stamp on something, he found this shit.
Yeah. But do you see the problem? That's fake news. That's fake news. That's some negative. We're out here singing as little kids. Oh, Christopher Columbus, like BS.
He found the land, man.
He didn't find shit.
He found the land, man. He found the land.
People like him.
Hold on. He deboed the shit from people, bro. He deboed this shit.
Yeah, he jammed it. He
deboed it.
Corrupted the people, and then claimed it for his own, and then they created the society that we live in now.
What they did when they came to this land, they found it, and then they swindled, they finessed them.
That is a finesser.
Then they killed them off by smallpox. That's some dangerous shit.
As well.
They deboed that shit, man.
Yeah, no, they did indigenous people dirty.
Terrible.
Damn, but wow. My head is spinning. So what's the answer to the question?
I said what I said, and then you guys went off about education and institution and conditioning and false history.
Are black people?
You guys didn't want to answer the question at all because you're scared.
Honestly, okay.
You're scared.
Honestly, I don't think black people are the root of their own destruction.
Okay. You're saying that it was a white man that forced us to be like this. In other words, I'm reading between the lines.
Yes.
Okay, blame it on the white. The white man is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in. Now, Jeff, what do you?
Absolutely. I'm being careful. I'm not gonna say anti-white, but I'm definitely anti-white supremacy.
I'm not anti-white people.
I never said you were.
Rude. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
I just want to make that sure too, because I got called out for that one.
Look at these guys is ducking. Pay
it's
attention.
Not even being anti-white. No, because
scared. Pay attention.
No. But anti-white supremacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who are in leadership positions who think that they're better than everybody, and you know they don't want to see people of color on their table. I'm anti.
So the white man has been keeping his foot on the Negroes' necks for the past 400 years. Is what you're telling me.
Stomping on
it. Yes. That's what they're saying. They don't want to say it.
Stomping on them.
They're talking about white supremacy.
Mans are climbing up the ladder and they're dashing them up the ladder.
Say that.
Don't vex me.
Say that.
I'm
say
saying
that.
my chest.
The white man's boots have been on the Negro's neck for a long time.
White man, also white woman. We can't even just say the man.
Say that. Speak on. Say stand on that.
100%.
Yeah, that's what you guys. That's what you guys agree on, right?
I agree. 100%.
There you go. Finally, we got some stats. Jeff, you agree on the white man's been on the Negro's neck for 400 years.
400 plus. 400 plus years. 400 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. We made breakthrough, man.
Hey.
I'm actually screaming.
We got them to stand on something.
We got the answer. Yes. I'm actually
Oh, boy.
There we go. And then with that conversation, now we're able to, open up where we're, the conversation is,
Right.
I forget where I was going with this.
Yeah.
But now that we got you there, it is good. Good conversation. It feels good to be, more open, right?
I feel more confident now,
Exactly.
I can go and conquer the world.
Exactly. That's what I like to hear.
Damn.
All right, man.
You
Anything
catch
else?
me as CEO, talk to me nice.
Yeah. Big purr.
Big purr.
All right, man. Hey,
This is a dope conversation, though.
I like this conversation.
And this is only the first episode.
First episode.
That's wild.
First of many.
First of many. Yo, these people, they don't know what they're in for.
Yeah.
You see the smile?
Balling out.
All right, man. All right, so let's get out of here then.
For real.
Right.
It's like
It's late.
it's hella late, man.
No big facts. But
Alright.
you guys will catch us next time.
All right, man. So this has been the very first episode of The Echo with your host Apollo P.
Katie.
And Jeffrey.
See you next time, all right?
Bye.